Hey y'all, it's Chris with Rockin Farm, and today we've got a kind of a special project going on. We've been trying for a while to get the pigs out onto pasture and let them start just having more room to roam around, do piggy things. These are Idaho pasture pigs, so they do like being out on grass. So there was just a lot of stuff that had to happen. But recently we received a pretty cool thing in the mail. We got our solar energizer in the mail, and I'll be doing another video on that, kind of talking about the solar energizer, how it works, how you set it up, all that good stuff. But there's other stuff that we need to get in place before we can actually get these pigs out on pasture. Whether it's in the barn or on pasture, animals still need the same things that we've already talked about. They need a shelter where they can stay warm and dry. They need access to water. They need obviously some sort of food, and they need some sort of security. So that electric fence should definitely help with the security as well as kind of keeping them contained. So we need to work on water, food, and shelter. Food's not going to be that big of a deal, to be honest with you. You know, we already feed the pigs. They're going to have access to the green grass once they're out on pasture. They're going to have access to hay once they're out on pasture. But we are going to just kind of build a few things, and we're using some materials that may not be super common just because it's stuff that we have laying around and it's what we've got for now. So I do eventually want to build one of these really cool A-frame pig structures just because they last a really long time. They work really good for farrowing out on pasture. They're just awesome. I robbed this picture from some fellow IPP friends at Podunk Pastures. They have a YouTube channel as well. So you can see here the frame of this structure has, you know, several 2x4s in it. I have two problems with this structure right now. Problem number one is that with current lumber prices, we're looking at somewhere between $150 and $200 to build one of these A-frames. And that would be cool if they were super mobile. But because they're built well and they're built to last, they're heavy. I'm going to try and invent a truly mobile A-frame. I've got some ideas for how to make an A-frame totally mobile. It involves old bicycles. We'll get there when we get there. But for right now, I don't want to spend $150 to $200 right now. I just invested in a solar energizer. I've got other things, other projects I need to build on the farm. So we've got the mobility issue currently, because until I get that all worked out in my head, I want something I can move easily. And we've got the cost issue. So what we're going to do is we are going to take something that we have laying around on the farm, and we are going to create a space that is warm and dry, which is basically the requirement for shelter. Y'all are going to get to see my lovely bride on camera today. On the weekends, we get a chance to actually come out and do a little bit of work together because we're not working our off-farm income jobs. So this will be fun, just a little opportunity for a husband and wife to do a project for little animals that they love and adore. So let's go ahead and get started on this. All right, y'all, so when it comes to sourcing materials, use what you have. This IBC tote, we got squealy pigs in the background. This IBC tote has been sitting in this spot for 2.5 years. We want to do some rainwater catchment and stuff like that with these IBC totes, but I'm not doing anything with this right now. So this IBC tote is going to become a pig house. And when I get ready to do my rainwater catchment, we'll get more IBC totes. You can find these relatively affordable if you're willing to look for them. I would like to have lots of them. If this works out, it might be IBC pig huts all over my property, but at the very minimum, this is going to serve a temporary solution until I can get the whole rock solid heavy A-frame that is actually mobile thing worked out. It's gonna work great. We don't have to do too much to it, so let's just go ahead and get started. So first things first, as you can see, it's not like these are super easy to move, but you can move them. If you're on relatively flat, relatively level ground, if there's not too many hills or stuff in the way, they can just be dragged. They're designed to be picked up with a forklift, so if you've got a tractor, then life is just silly easy. But if I had a tractor, I could probably move one of those A-frames as well. So we wanted something that we could actually drag from one pen into another rotational paddock, and I think this is going to help well. The other nice part about these IBC totes is that they're completely surrounded with these steel frames, so they can take a little bit of abuse. Now we just have to modify it so it can house some pigs. All right, so first thing we need to do is we need to remove one of the two bars that's up here on top. And that's because pigs are big, so we need a wide enough opening. So we got the trusty angle grinder here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this off because it's easier than trying to get the right tool to take it apart. Scrap metal, nothing goes to waste. All right, so the next thing we need to do is we just need to mark out our opening. My wife has a much steadier hand than I do, so I'm gonna have her help me out. Sure.
Being an idiot.
All right, y'all, so the next thing we're gonna do, as I'm echoing into my tub here, we're just gonna take some sandpaper, clean up all these rough edges, make them nice and smooth, clean out the tub itself. What you're seeing in here is algae from back when we used this for rainwater catchment. So we'll just give it a little scrub real quick and get it cleaned out, and then we'll go from there. So you gotta make the wife do all the real work. What's that? All that's left is to vacuum it out or clean it out and put some hay in it. One thing I think I should point out about this little pig hut is, you know, I'm not an unrealistic individual. This one here is going to house two at the most. Maybe only one once they're full size, full grown. But guess what? All I have right now is two. And when we get our breeding pair, I maybe build another one of these, or maybe by then I have enough time to build an A-frame. I don't know. But I'm not trying to be unrealistic with what this house is capable of doing. So there you have it. I mean, we kind of threw it together, but it really is that simple of a project. These things, they can be expensive, but you can find them cheap if you're just willing to look for them and if you're willing to drive. I've got a place that's about 2.5 hours from here where I can pick these up that were, you know, they are food grade. So they weren't used for chemicals. They were used for like cooking oil or molasses or something like that. And I can get them for $25 to $40 depending. So we may make a run and just grab a bunch of these. They're good to have around the farm anyhow. You can use them for aquaponics, you can use them for hydroponics, you can use them for rainwater catchment, you can use them to make waters out of. I mean, if you filled this up with water and put pig nipples all the way around it, you could technically do that if you wanted to. So these IBC totes have a lot of good uses on the farm, a lot of good uses on the homestead. If you get an opportunity to pick one up, don't pass up that opportunity because they have a lot of good potential use. But we threw together a pig shelter. If we hadn't spent so much time looking for tools, it was probably, what would you say, babe, a 20-minute project?
Probably.
20-minute project. And the pigs are going to sleep very comfortably in here. They're little now. They're going to be little for a while. By the time they get big enough that this is getting cramped, one of two things. Either, I mean, two of them could probably sleep very comfortably in here, but let's just say that this is just not enough space for two 250-pound pigs. Well, we're coming up on our summertime months, and from a lot of my IPP friends, they said, you know, unless there's inclement weather, the pigs all sleep outside anyhow. Also, between now and 4 months from now, I could very easily build a second one of these for you know, two, and have one for each pig. Or I might have enough money to put together an A-frame by then. So I think this is going to be a great solution to get our two 45-pound pigs out on pasture, and they will be able to sleep very comfortably in here. We'll probably double up the amount of hay because they like to bury. But that's really all there was to it. I mean, y'all saw the steps. It's super simple. It's very sturdy. It's very rigid, and it is light enough that it can be dragged. So it is portable. So that's it. That's Rockin 8 Farm portable pig hut in 20 minutes. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and just remember, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's a great way to help out our farm and our family. Click that little notification bell so you get reminders anytime we shoot a video, and make sure you check out that website, rockin8farm.com. That's ROCKIN, the number 8 FARM. And until we see y'all again, this has been Jess and Chris working together, and we want you all to be happy and live healthy.